you. And this week's changing track is for Mick. About 10 years ago, I met my good mate, Jo. He'd moved to Australia from the UK about 15 years ago. A cartographer with an insatiable appetite to explore the world, he was always on the go, a citizen of the globe with a quirky sense of humour. Immediately I met this adventurous spirit. I had a feeling we would be great mates. Having only known him for a couple of months, Jo disappeared without a trace. I couldn't get in touch with him. Trying to track him down, I even went back to a pub we'd visited a few times. On 2 consecutive Friday nights, I headed to Abbotsford, where I did a walk around inside the pub without any luck. But Jo turned up a month later. He'd been travelling in the Pacific Islands. I told him how worried I was, and he was genuinely moved. He said he didn't think anyone would care, and our friendship grew stronger. We did loads of things together, and our respective friendship groups expanded. People used to think we were like a married couple. I loved having him around. Running club, choir, fundraisers, spring ball, trivia nights, the comedy festival, or just a drink with mates. My friends would always ask, "Where's Jo? What's he been up to?" There were big nights out at various pubs, watching his workmates in bands, or Friday Club, where a different bar was picked each month. He was so much fun, but also great company, even just having a quiet beer, with both of us not having much to say. Jo loved Melbourne's street art scene, documenting it with photos and videos online. His love of art could be unusual. I remember going along to an art installation with him, where we entered this enclosed tent. We were told, "You are the stars of the fashion show, and you must walk down the runway with confidence and flair, and the audience will cheer." We did this one by one, and on both sides of the runway, to our surprise, all of the audience were completely naked. On road trips, Jo would come armed with maps, facts and figures, and each month he'd compile a running sheet of events. I discovered the richness of our beautiful city. He loved going to major festivals. And I remember with our dark, hairy, Southern European good looks, we used to go along to Greek and gay nights. Whilst we were pushing the envelope in trying to look Greek, I did tell Jo he was being perhaps overly ambitious to get us into African and gay. One thing I loved about Jo is he would always acknowledge what a great night we had, or how good it was to see each other. If he didn't say it in person, I'd get a text on my way home or a phone call. We used to laugh a lot, share observations, and he had a cheeky sense of humour. I remember him filming one of the Pride marches in St Kilda. He went up to the police contingent and he asked a woman standing there, "Hello, you look like someone important. Who are you?" And she replied, "I'm the police commissioner, Christine Nixon." On a Friday evening in July last year, my dear mate Jo was taken from us, suddenly, unexpectedly. He suffered a heart attack at 47. It was such a shock. I'd only spoken to him hours before, and then he was gone. No warning. I could no longer call him up, annoy him, share my day, or challenges over a beer or a chat. I've not experienced this sort of grief since my dad passed away many years ago. I struggle to make sense of it. Jo knew what our friendship meant to me, and that gives me a lot of comfort. Make sure that you tell those in your life that you care about them. I'm heartbroken, but my life is so much richer for having had Jo in it. Jo gave me so much joy for just being himself. His effervescent presence will live on, be it in a quiet moment, an event, or just enjoying nature. Jo used to use Keen's track, Everybody's Changing, to accompany an amazing video he put together of Melbourne's street art, which features the ever-fresh crew, which we both used to follow. The tears will flow as I remember this talented and loved mate of mine, who I miss dearly, but they are also tears of joy and thanks. Lots of great texts. Let me read some of them. Mick's changing track for his mate Jo from Keen. Everybody's changing. What a beautiful story. Thanks for sharing. Grief is an unavoidable part of life and can be so difficult, but it's a true reflection of the beautiful love that we have shared with another. Everyone needs a Joe. Nothing is impossible if you have a friend like Joe by your side. R.I.P. Joe sounds like a life well lived. That's from Greg in Ballarat. So please do keep sending them in. Just any song that means a lot to you. It doesn't have to be about anything particular. We had one about the Guns N' Roses concert last week. Anything at all. Just got to put those words to paper. 774 drive at abc.net.au.